Candace, welcome to the FreshandFit Podcast. We're happy to have you.
Thank you, guys. I'm excited to be here.
Well, we know who you are. We support your work. But for those that live under a rock that might not know who you are, can you please introduce yourself to the people?
Candace Owens. I'm a podcaster, a public speaker. I'm repping CT hard, right? We're repping CT hard tonight since nobody ever says that. Mother first, also a wife. And yeah, I just tell people what I think. For whatever reason, we live in a society where people are not allowed to just say what they think. And everyone's trying to, castigate thought. So people have probably seen me on the internet. I think I'm trending on Twitter right now.
You always are.
Always trending. For something.
So can you tell us a little bit about, you mentioned Connecticut earlier, but, people might not know your past. Can you tell us a little bit about your upbringing, what family life was like, and how you became the woman that you are today?
Yeah, so I was born in New York, but then was raised in Connecticut. Been in Connecticut pretty much my whole life, like from kindergarten all the way up to graduating in Stanford. And I mean, life was pretty normal. My family didn't have a ton of money. So my grandfather, when I was 8 years old, came to the crappy little apartment that we were living in and was like, I don't want my grandbabies to grow up like this. And so I moved in at 8 with my granddad and my grandma. The whole family moved in. My mom and dad were in there too. And yeah, I think that was probably what shaped me a lot. I always say those were the formative years because, 8 years old and then through to high school with my grandparents, and my granddad was super conservative, not politically inclined. My family was not politically inclined, but just read the Bible every morning when he was making breakfast sort of a thing. And I obviously hated that when I was in public school, and I went the exact opposite way because, public school, atheism, it all is in lockstep. So I became a liberal, not politically inclined, just believed everything that was coming out of the school system. So, the racism, the sexism, all of the isms that is pounded into your head every single day. And then, that's kind of my story. I have two sisters, one brother. So I come from a pretty, what would be considered a big family now, very close with my sisters and my brother. It's nothing too interesting in my childhood. I don't think so.
And I went to high school right around the same time that you did, and I can definitely attest to the public school system. And Connecticut was super woke, very liberal, you're a victim, the man is evil and all this other stuff. And it wasn't also because I grew up fairly liberal myself. It wasn't until I graduated from college that I started to see what the hell, this is BS. It's being conservative is not as bad as they try to paint it as.
Right.
When did you kind of for me, it was after I graduated from college that I noticed this.
Exact
but for
same.
You, when was it?
Exact same. I think once you're in the real world, you realize that a loser mentality will yield loser results. And if you're a person that's hungry and you want to be successful, it's not going to serve you to go around thinking that the world is out to get you, right? You want to be a part of the world. You want to be the purveyor of your own destiny. And so it just didn't work for me. I wanted to be successful. I didn't consider myself to be a victim. But my big aha moment was definitely, because I wasn't paying attention to politics, but was when Trump came down the escalator. I hadn't even voted, I was that much abstained from politics. But then because I grew up listening to hip hop, watching them go from everybody loves Trump, hip hop world, everybody, he's this icon of status, and Jay-Z and Beyonce are sipping poolside at Mar-a-Lago. I mean, if you're listening to music, it's Trump's fine. And then just like that, a drop of a hat, they were like, no, actually he's racist. He's wants to own slaves. I was like, what? He definitely hates all black people. He wants you back in chains. I was like, The narrative flip was too aggressive for me not to kind of pop up and be like, what's actually behind this? And then I made a couple of YouTube videos talking about that, and they went viral, and people were essentially calling me a coon, Uncle Tom, just for daring to think outside of the matrix. And I'm very stubborn. So if you're going to tell me that I can't be myself, that's my number one thing. I listened to way too much Kanye music growing up. So as soon as you're going to tell me that I can't be myself, I'm going to be the biggest myself that you've ever seen. I'm going to make you hate how much of myself I am. And I think I've done a very good job of doing just that. There are a lot of people that hate me for daring to be myself,
Oh, yeah. You've definitely done some things that take a lot of courage. I'm going to talk about that here in a second.